Welcome to the Puck Crew. I'm Camille, your captain, and I have one of my alternates with me.
It's me. I'm Mal.
Robert is gone to be with family this weekend.
Robert is having their own version of the cottage with their boyfriend and family. We love that for them.
Yeah. So we have two very special guests returning. We have our rookie-ish Erin Hattimer. Welcome back, Erin.
I invited myself back.
Erin said, I'm coming to the cottage.
I was invited. I'm coming.
We opened our suitcases and she was like, I'm here. We were like, oh my God. And then on top of that, we also have another rookie being drafted. We have my wonderful friend, Miranda. Hi, Miranda.
Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to be here.
First off, Miranda, you are a therapist.
I am.
Can you give our listeners your credentials? What are your credentials?
Sure. My credentials, I have 7 letters behind my name. It's LPC MHSP. I'm a licensed professional counselor, mental health service provider is what that stands for. So what that means, there are a billion different license types here in Tennessee, but I can diagnose and treat mental health disorders that are in the DSM. So
like Slavic?
Like Slavic.
Yeah, okay, cool. So the reason I invited you onto this podcast because you made a post on Threads that was just mind-blowingly insightful into mental health and how that plays into the story. And so I wanted you to come on for this episode because I wanted you to dive into all of that with us because there's so much happening in this episode when it comes to mental health for both characters.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also setting up this story for the long game, which is a very, very heavy story compared to Heated Rivalry in that we go balls to the wall focusing on suicide, mental health, depression, all that kind of stuff. And so I really wanted to get your insight because I think there have been hints through season 1 of where we're going and setting this up. But I think this is the episode where they really just lay it out flat in front of you and go, Ilya is depressed.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. I have a lot of thoughts. Also, my post. I started posting. I had never posted on Threads a day in my life. And then I started posting about Heated Rivalry. And suddenly I had 3 million views in 30 days. And now I'm I don't know what to do with that. So I am posting very sporadically, but still about Heated Rivalry. So
Drop the threads at. What's the threads at?
It's at Miranda.lee, Lee.
Boom. Okay.
Boom.
Go follow her. So we have a couple of housekeeping things before we get into our episode. But I do want to say, Miranda, the way that we met / didn't meet is insane.
It's weird.
Because you and I went to the same fucking watch party.
We did.
We were sitting 10 feet apart from each other.
I remember seeing you. Now that I know what you look like, I was like, oh yeah, I know. She was definitely there.
Yeah. And then I saw you posting on Threads about it 2 days later. And I was like, wait, what the fuck? So we didn't meet.
Mm-mm.
And we still haven't, but we're buddies.
This is our first actual face-to-face in this moment now. So
exactly. Okay. So also for our listeners, a little bit of our housekeeping is what's next for the Puck Crew. So we kind of want your input. Mal and I, of course, are unbelievably obsessed. So we don't want to stop our coverage.
I'll talk about nothing at all. I'll talk about fanfic. I'll write a fanfic. I'm crazy.
I have so many fanfics to talk about.
Yeah, so if we kind of want your input, where do you want us to go with this next? Because personally for me, I'm not as attached to the other books as I am Heated Rivalry and The Long Game. So I personally would like to cover those books. And then
I think we should talk about the whole series.
We're thinking about that. We're also thinking about, we could do an episode on fan fiction. We could do an episode on the culture of fandom surrounding the show. There's so much stuff that we could talk about. And so please write to us, pitcrewpodcast@gmail.com. If you're an Apple listener, that's the easiest way to get in touch with us. If you're on Spotify, you can leave a comment on the episode. Let us know what you want us to talk about, what order you want us to do it in, all that kind of stuff. If you have thoughts or questions. And then, of course, hello to everyone from YouTube. We started posting clips on YouTube and gained a lot of traction there. So if you're listening on YouTube, hello, hi, welcome. We're happy to have you. So that's it for housekeeping. Erin, You went to a hockey game. Last time you were here, you had never seen a hockey
I
game.
know. First of all, keep inviting me until I say no. That's all I'm going to say about this. My friend has like season tickets to this college game, and I was like, I don't care about sports. I don't want to see it. My friend and I was like, yeah, I'll go. I'm kind of interested now because like heated rivalry, and then all the clips start showing up, and it looks kind of fun to watch. It was so fun.
Right?
Granted, we were there only like the last third, I think. But they went into overtime, and then our team won in overtime. And like constantly, all I was doing was just asking my friend questions. I'm like, are they allowed to do that? Are they allowed to do that? Are they allowed? Wait, can they do that? Wait, are we winning? Wait, did they win there? Wait, what happens if they don't win there? And I think everyone around me wanted to kill me. But
Did you see someone glove a puck and you were like, are you allowed to do that?
No. It hit one of the goalies' tummies though, and I felt so bad.
No.
Oh no.
It was so funny. Like everyone stood up and cheered when they won, and I was like a second behind, and I was like, yeah, oh shit. However, they kept trying to get into fights, and then because it's college, they like break them up pretty fast, and I was like, oh my god. And then the most important part was during one of the breaks, they played all the things she said.
Hell yeah.
So funny to me. My friend who watches hockey has never seen Heated Rivalry. I was like, they play this in the show. And she was like, okay. And I was like, no, you don't get it.
Hockey is amazing. I got to go to another Preds game. I invited Miranda, but Miranda was busy. And then I took my brother, and he has no idea. Like, he knows nothing about Heated Rivalry. And we were sitting there, and he looks at me and he goes, when did they kiss? And I was like, shut the fuck up.
No, I was going to say, I'm like, I made that joke no less than 40 times. I was like, and I kept making it, and I was surrounded by old Bostonian men, and they were like, what is this?
No, I was like, why is hockey romance so big? Like, why hockey of all sports? And then I went to a hockey game, and like women's sports, there's always sexual tension because like there are players that are fucking and married and whatever else because like it's women's sports. But I like went to this hockey game and I was like, okay, I get it. Like there's a tension in hockey that lends itself
it's
very
the bottom
well to
exercises. It's that stretch they do on the ice.
Oh my god.
And then you're like, I'm sorry, are we not doing doggy later, but we're doing this stretch? What are we doing?
Yeah, what else are you stretching out for? I don't.
Exactly. Like to play hockey? What?
Right.
No.
I don't think so.
Oh my god. Okay, well, should we get into the episode?
We should, yes.
Okay, so we begin with Scott's speech. She's winning MVP at the MLH Awards, and Kip and crew are watching from the Kingfisher.
And you know what? I think that's true love to not make Kip sit through the actual awards ceremony and just kind of allow him to do his thing in New York, because I feel like the MLH Awards would be awful to sit through. Love you, Scott, but no.
Fair, but also like for the budget of it, if they were going to have Kip there, they would have had to have shown an audience.
Right.
And then they would have had to pay people, and yeah.
That's true.
So Scott's awkward cough and laugh when he is like on stage, and he's like, yeah, anyway. That is so funny to me.
The way that they manage to, like, these very talented actors, the way that they manage to be like so awkward and like stilted when they're doing these like hockey player doing public speaking moments, like cracks me up every time.
You can also tell that Scott has more experience doing public speaking than Shane and Ilya, because he's done, speeches at fundraisers and stuff, but Shane and Ilya have not done that. So like he's less wooden than they are, which is great. But he talks about like being private and not sharing his private life very much. And I'm like, I'm looking at you, Shane Hollander. We're looking at you, Shane. But this is setting up the long game. We're really going very hard into setting up the long game in this episode, and this is one of those first little hints. He talks about how anti-LGBTQ the whole culture of hockey is. U.S. hockey, I was just thinking about how U.S. hockey has just banned trans players.
Boo.
Yeah. If you want information about that, you can go to Harrison Brown's Instagram page and look at the reel he posted talking about it.
Sorry, I gotta say something real quick.
Go.
I didn't even know Harrison Brown was like a hockey player. I thought he was just an actor. Like that's how good he is in his like 2 scenes he's in. So I hope he's in it a lot more. Just shout out to him, because it like most athletes, as we said before, are so fucking awkward when they try to act, and he is so natural and so funny. Like when he's holding like the menu, I was dying. Okay. As we move
I hope he also goes to Ottawa when Ilya does. Like that's what I need.
Yeah.
The bit of Scott's speech that always gets me is the part where he talks about, like, I started to realize that I might be that thing that hockey players throw around as an insult. Cause I'm like, relatable. Like, that was me growing up in the church, realizing that, like, I might be this thing that people always threw around as, like, an example of sin and, like, an example of things that, like, were wrong. And I was like, I feel you, Scott Hunter.
Well,
I feel you.
Yeah, and it's so interesting because it's like this thing, I mean, in the Skip episode, at the end, he's talking about like hockey is my family. And so he's found this like family in this and this safety in this thing after his parents died. But then it's also the thing that hates him.
But what kind of family is it if you can't bring your whole self there?
Exactly.
Not to rehash that again, but
Mal has talked about that multiple times. Yeah, just that not in like a boo. Mal's talked about it multiple times, but like we've talked.
Ooh, Mal, stop talking. Shut up.
No. What is this? Your mom's basement? The fucking no, but Mal's talked about, you know, like he has created this family for himself. However, this family has these expectations for him that now don't allow him to be himself. And so he's, you know, feeling like he has to be a certain thing to keep his family happy, which for me is very relatable. I'm so scared to be saying this so early into the episode because who knows who's listening. But again, listeners, just remember, please be discreet in the comments. But yeah, it is scary to, I mean, it's heartbreaking to like want to just like be what you are, but also just think of the fact that you don't want your family to feel disappointed or like for me, I already feel like I've disappointed people enough having grown up to be like a liberal feminist. I don't want to add LGBTQIA on top of that because like what if that's the straw that breaks the camel's back?
But like, not to veer off too much, but like when I deal with this a lot with my clients because I see a lot of like my work is with a lot of like marginalized communities. And being queer myself, like I have that lived experience. I feel like exactly what Mal said, like what kind of family is that? But there's this expectation that just because you're in a family and it's blood, that you have to maintain a relationship with the people that are harming you. And I do a lot of deconstructing around that with my clients because any relationship that's harmful is not good for your nervous system. Mm-hmm. So just, it's fucking hard.
Yeah. It's very lonely.
Yes.
But then Scott says to Kip, "You've made me better in every conceivable way." And my notes were just all caps because he allows Scott to live his truth. Because you can grow and flourish in an environment where there's room for that.
And I do hope that we see more of Scott and Kip in season 2, perhaps even more than we get of them in the book, because I know they do make their little like cameo appearances kind of the same way Ilya does in all the books that aren't about him. But
he's like, this isn't about me, bitch. Watch this.
I feel like they can provide a good sort of comparison for Shane and Ilya because spoilers for the long game, like they spend the majority of that book like still hiding, still in the closet, versus like Scott, who is now out and is now able to be open about things. And so I don't know, I think it would just be interesting to have more of that like out Scott Hunter of it all, you know, as we go forward. I do, however, wish, like, if I could make one edit to the show, I wish that he had at least mentioned Scott Hunter Night in his speech. Because I understand, like, we didn't need a whole other club scene. Like,
please tell everyone what Scott Hunter Night is.
Oh, it would be my pleasure. Okay, so in the book, at the end of his speech, and his speech is pretty close in the book. It's not perfect, like word for word, but the gist is the same. But at the end, he's like, one of the gay bars in Vegas is throwing a Scott Hunter Night, and that's where I'll be after this if anyone wants to come and dance. And so he sort of expects it's going to be like him and the teammates closest to him, like Eric Bennett, Carter Vaughn, Greg Huff, like a couple other people. But guess who shows up? Ilya freaking Rozanov, because of course he does. And so
Wait, Erin doesn't know this. I just
He can sniff out a queer hockey player faster than literally anyone else.
He's like a bloodhound for gays.
He truly is.
Crazy.
He's in every single book, and he pops up to be like, queer? Like,
to be like, gay?
Every single you?
Yes, no, it's incredible. Yeah, so, and I mean, obviously we have at the Hollander parent cottage, he says he talked to Scott, and so I'm gonna take that as Ilya was at Scott Hunter night, but like I wish that Scott would have mentioned it because I just think it's so funny. But so I pulled a couple bits from the book. Number 1, when Ilya shows up, Scott's like, "What are you doing here?" And Ilya says, "I wanted to see what Scott Hunter night was. It's not as bad as it sounds." And then Scott asks, "Did you really come to a gay bar in Vegas just to make fun of me?" And then says Rosenoff ignored his question and instead swept a hand through the air and said, "So, this is you now?" Scott wasn't exactly sure what he meant, but he nodded. "This is me. I mean, this has always been me, but now I'm better at being me." Rosenoff seemed to consider this. "It's good, what you did. It'll be good for ... others." There was something in Rosenoff's eyes that caught Scott's attention. He had never seen that look on his face before. Was it gratitude, maybe? "I hope so," Scott said. And I was like, others. This will be good for me. This will be good for Shane. Just
you did this for me. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You did this for us.
Yeah.
And this is also like happening in between I'm coming to the cottage on the phone and actually being able to go to the cottage, you know, because the awards happen after the season is done. So this is an Ilya who is about to go to the cottage and is about to get a boyfriend. And he's here like thanking Scott for what he did that like made it all possible. I love it so much. And then there's also a moment where they like all are dancing in this gay club and Scott's like remarking on who's dancing with men and who seems comfortable and whatever. And this is also when we get the moment where he's like, Kip and I are gonna have to leave, otherwise I'm gonna fuck him against the wall in front of God and Ilya Rosenoff, which is like what we ended up calling, I think, our first Puck Crew episode because it's just funny. But
that was number 3, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, one of them. While they're like dancing, Scott literally looks at him and is like, "I don't have much experience at clubs, but like looking at the way that Ilya is dancing with these men, he's moving like someone with a lot more practice than someone who's like just trying to get into the spirit of this gay club." Huh. Which I love Scott Hunter night. I think it's so funny. And just I forever will be sad that we didn't at least mention it.
We cut to always anxious Shane in his darkest shades at this airport in Ottawa. He's clearly not picking Ilya up like at the tunnel where you come out. He's like parked in a parking lot, you know, to stay away from people as much as possible. It's July, so it's been 2 months since Ilya agreed to come to the cottage. Ilya's immediately trying to lighten the mood and like the tension by chirping at Shane about his car. Like, is this a Jeep? Which is great. Because if you haven't read the book, it is a Jeep in the book.
Yeah, it is a Jeep.
And then the song that plays, boy, oh boy, I'm going to mispronounce this. Hold on. Wait.
It's French, and I'm going to, since Robert's not here, I'm going to boo the French for Robert real quick.
Yeah, you go ahead with your boo.
Boo.
L'anarchie des jours heureux. I don't know. I'm sorry. I took French for 3 years and I don't have it. But that translates to the anarchy of happy days. This song is all about like the rebellion of being happy with the person you love. But I think someone also said like the nickname for this song is The Cottage, or like an alternate name for this song is The Cottage.
Shut the fuck up.
Really? Isn't that amazing? Yes. And they have this 2-hour car ride, and Ilya says, "Is that what we're going to do? Relax." And Shane says, "I hope so. I would like to relax with you for once." And like Shane kind of starts to spiral, but then Ilya like pulls him back by thanking him for inviting him. And then they kind of like even the playing field because Ilya says that he's glad he's there, but he's also terrified. He voices the fact that he's terrified, which is a big deal.
And I think it's so good because Shane is also like, they are both terrified. They're both terrified. And so it's good that one of them said that in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's good, but also I'm so scared right now.
Yeah. And Shane says that he's, you know, going to go on a silent retreat, that he's told his parents he's on a silent retreat. And Ilya starts laughing and Shane says, "What? Does that sound fake?" And Ilya says, "It would if it was anyone but you."
Which is like so endearing. It's just so like,
So
I
good.
know, it's like an I know you
Domestic.
so well. Yeah, domestic. It's I know you so well that like this is hilarious because it's us.
Yeah. Oh, it's
And then
so
they're
good.
holding hands. And Ilya is like cradling one of Shane's hands in both of his.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Before we move on, we have to talk about the fits.
Oh,
Okay,
Yes.
Shane dressed
Oh.
up like a rich suburban dad dropping off his daughter at a birthday party, while Ilya's dressed as a frat boy 3 days into Rush.
He's-
Where are they going with these outfits?
Where
Where
indeed?
did they think they were going? Like,
Gay people never look like they're going to the same place. Okay, jot that down.
My jaw was on the, like, dude, when he was like, did anyone notice you in the airport? And he like looks like that with his hat backwards, the sunglasses. I'm like, my ass would have followed him like a cartoon, like pie, like on a windowsill, like across the airport. Like, yeah, someone probably did notice him because
I would have left a snail trail.
Camille.
No, the fact that we don't get a full shot of Ilya's airport outfit with the sunglasses and the hat, a crime.
A crime.
Criminal. And then Shane looks like some finance bro with his Apple Watch and like shorts.
Here's the Apple Watch.
And his wrinkled ass linen shirt, like, friends. I do want to bring it back to like the relax exchange because I feel like one of the things in this show that's so interesting, and I think obviously it stems from like Rachel Reed's writing, there are all these like bids for connection, which do y'all know what that is? Like where that phrase comes from?
No.
It doesn't. I'm just going to explain it. So there's this couple named the Gottmans, and I don't do, full disclosure, I do not do couples therapy because that shit freaks me out. But I'm sure this existed before them, but they sort of coined this phrase bids for connection. And it's the example that people use is like, imagine that you're with like a partner and they're doing something in the kitchen and you're looking outside and you're like, oh, look at that bird. Like that bird's so cool. And depending on how your partner responds is whether they like met that bid for connection. Like you saying, oh, come look at this cool thing is you reaching out for emotional intimacy. And if that partner is like, I don't fucking care, then yikes. First of all, but if the partner's like, oh, I love that bird, tell me about it. What color was it?
Is this like the bird test?
Yes.
That
Yeah, I
went
was
viral
gonna say,
on
I've seen
social
this
media?
on TikTok.
Yes. So it like stemmed from that. And that happens like all the time. Like in Ilya and Shane's relationship, sex is for so long the way that they communicate and connect. But Shane responding so earnestly to the like relax joke is, to me, a very like precious, intimate bid for connection and kind of scary probably for him, to be honest. And then Ilya, who for so long has had to deflect and like learn to avoid emotional intimacy with deflection because it's not safe. Like his mom died. That was his primary source of emotional intimacy.
Hey, so I'm gonna fucking cry right now, by the way.
Okay, great.
This is very reminiscent of the tunnel scene when Shane says, maybe you could teach me Russian someday. And Ilya starts cracking jokes.
He's always...
And then he cracks a joke and then Shane brings it right back down by saying, how about I wish you were here?
Yeah. And it's constant invitations for Ilya to like engage in a level of emotional intimacy that they haven't really practiced yet. So like, of course it's awkward. Of course there are moments where it doesn't go great, but I see Ilya being like, thank you for inviting me. He's like, oh, this person actually feels the way that I feel. Cause I think
met that bid.
Yeah, I think that Ilya's so scared that Shane actually doesn't love him in the way that, and we see that in the long game, like throughout the entire thing. So,
well, we also see that in a scene in this episode, and we'll talk about that when we get there.
Yeah,
but that phone call with Hayden, there is part of the internal monologue of Ilya that we're going to talk about. Yeah. So
not the blowjob part. I forgot about the emotion part.
Oh, sure.
I never forget blowjobs, but you know.
Who does?
No, dude, HBO hates to the 10-second rewind on HBO hates to see me coming.
They hate to see me coming too.
Bam, bam, especially during this episode, I was like, rewind, 10 seconds. Dude, my finger hurts from pressing it so much.
We get to the cottage, and before we talk about the content of this scene, I want to point out what is just mind-blowingly incredible to me. And Erin, as someone who studied film, you might appreciate this better than anybody else who's here, but I just thought this was incredible. We get out of the car, we walk into the cottage, we have the conversation. Shane walks around and talks about the well. They make it down the stairs onto the couch. They have the whole conversation on the couch. The camera pans in on them. And then all the way from getting out of the car to Shane saying, "Should I show you to your room?" is one fucking take. And the camera follows them the entire time. I timed it. It's 3 minutes and 18 seconds. That's insane.
Love a long shot. I mean, some people do it just for their own pride. They're like, look at what I can do as a filmmaker. It works so well in this context because they only sit together and talk together for 2 minutes at a time, for months at a time. So you're sitting kind of in this awkwardness with them. And you can tell because Shane's like, oh my God, when Shane was like, I have good water here. I was like, thanks. What if you went to someone's house and they're like, my water's not good? I'm like, fuck, okay, Jesus. Okay. But you can see them trying to kind of figure out how to navigate across it and how the tone kind of changes from when they're having kind of Shane's having his awkward conversation to when they're on the couch getting more comfortable. And that's when it makes sense to have a one take because you can let the actors do that work.
It's also like that in the books. Rachel Reed's description of that scene is in Shane's internal monologue is he's like, I'm super nervous. But then as soon as Ilya closes the space and kisses him, the awkwardness melts away. Mm-hmm. And again, that's because their primary form of communication for so long has been sex. And that's where they feel most comfortable.
And I also think that this camera work is just a stark reminder of how you've had to show Ilya and Shane in separate camera shots because they are emotionally distant from each other. They sit far apart from each other if they're not having sex. When they're having conversations, they're sitting apart. We're getting different angles. There are no different angles. There are no cuts from one take to the next here. This is just straight up
we're together.
Mm-hmm.
We are together. They can't seem to let go of each other now. They are glued together now because they're allowed to be. There's no anxiety of being caught, unfortunately. We should have had a little bit more. Shane, could you just have checked your phone once every hour? Maybe. I don't know. But the lines, the choreography, the entire thing is down pat. But I also was just thinking about that one TikTok that the boys made. And they talked about how there was a take where they knocked over a lamp and you can absolutely tell that was this scene. Can you imagine getting 2 minutes into this scene, doing everything perfectly and then knocking over the fucking lamp and having to start over? I'd be so pissed.
Well, they do sort of almost knock over the lamp. And just straightens it. I also want to bring up Ilya's tiny little suitcase. That boy did not pack a lot of clothes for this 2-week vacation because he does not intend to wear very many clothes.
Correct.
This is a sexcation, baby.
He left the Jean-Paul Gaultier in Boston.
The $500 sweatpants.
No, he's wearing those, I'm pretty sure.
The drop crotch ones.
I just want to bring up the $500 sweatpants again.
Yeah. But yeah, I was amazed at the fact that the both of them can be in the exact same shot for 3 full minutes. More than 3 minutes, they are both in this same shot together, which is so incredible. I love little awkward Shane with the thumbs in the pockets again, just we're getting all these very classic and natural to them. What we've become familiar with is all still there, but it's in this new environment and it's just so ugh.
My favorite part of the cottage is the massive statue of the moose outside made out of driftwood that made no sense with any of the other aesthetic. And I knew the production team was like, we need to get this fucking moose out of here. And they had tried to move this moose and they were like, there's no way we can move this driftwood statue of a moose. It's going to be in this one shot and we're all going to have to deal with it. And every time that shot comes up, it makes me laugh so hard.
I haven't even noticed.
I was just going to say, I've never even noticed it.
Oh, it's great. It's Shane's dad's driving off and the music gets intense and I'm like, there's that moose, the drifting moose outside.
Wait. Now I gotta go find the moose.
I know, I'm gonna Google it literally right now.
Oh, Okay, I see.
Oh my God. I've
literally never noticed.
We're just like so lost in the sauce of the show
The
that
emotion?
literally are not.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's so random.
It's so random.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to get us so off track.
That's okay.
Camille, had you seen the moose before?
Yes.
Okay, no, that makes sense. No,
I am the pit details.
Yeah, I say she's the pit details.
Yeah.
Excuse you.
So, okay. One thing that I have loved about this show is how natural their acting is. And like, it's not manicured in a way. So, like, in a lot of shows, they do a lot of like tight in shots of faces and you don't see people's bodies when they're talking and they're emoting and they're moving. But in this show, there's a lot of like, they rub their noses while they're having conversations, or like there's something on my mouth, or like whatever. But like in this show, like there are moments where Ilya wipes his face, or Shane, as they're kissing and backing down the steps into like the living area, Shane literally like wipes his mouth right before he goes to kiss Ilya again. And when they're on the couch, Ilya like wipes at his nose, and like, I don't know, I just love the little details of like, there's one later that I'll point out to you that I thought is super endearing.
I know which one, because I'm ready to bring it up.
And
I'm also ready to bring one up.
That's my favorite scene.
No, but it does make it feel very real. Like these are real people that I am in this moment with, sort of, as their third, I guess. But
if only.
The only lesbian here right now is like, wow, am I the third?
Am I a part of this? Actually, well, because that's never mind. I don't know why I said it like that. It was just like, as I was like, I'm in this with them, that I was like, well, I guess I am literally in this with them.
Get in there.
I did see a post online. I don't know if it was Tumblr or Threads or whatever, but somebody being like, I'm such a fan of the way Heated Rivalry is edited and the way that it feels like sometimes I'm like losing and regaining consciousness in the cuck chair during these scenes.
The funny thing is, I know exactly which scenes they're talking about.
Yes.
We find out that Ilya hasn't slept with anyone since Shane, and Shane hasn't slept with anyone since Ilya, which, like,
no shit.
Accidentally monogamous.
Why? Like Shane was like, I haven't slept with anyone either. I'm like, oh, really, Shane?
Oh, Rose
really?
hasn't
For 10
called?
years
Like,
we've seen
fucking-
you. You've only slept with 1.5 people. Oh,
Not 1.5.
Hey, in the book, he sleeps with other men.
He does.
He does.
what? Sorry,
Yeah,
I just know
there are
so
two.
loud for my apartment.
Yes.
Oh my god.
He's had sex with 3 men. It's like a very respectable number, I think.
It's Ilya and 2 other dudes.
Do we ever meet them?
No,
No.
they're like hookups.
For context, I want to say to people, know that one thing we know about Ilya from the books is that he, like, masturbates every single day.
From a therapist perspective, masturbating every day is a great way to relieve stress and center your nervous system. So I
There
say,
you go.
fucking go for it, dude.
So, like, it's to the point where, like, in the long game, there's a moment where Ilya says he hasn't had an orgasm in a couple days, and Shane's like, holy shit, are you okay? But yeah, so, like, this is a big deal for Ilya, He's just, like, so over the moon about Shane that he doesn't care to try to find that anywhere else because it's just not it for him. It's not going to do it for him. Shane has this idea that they should be honest about what they think and how they feel while they're there.
Great idea, because they've literally never done this.
Right.
It's another bid for connection.
I
An
think
invitation.
it's also a little bit Shane being like, hey, if you're going to try to drop hints, I'm not going to pick up on them. Like, I have to do this sometimes. Like, when I go on dates, I have to be like, hey, if you're going to try to drop hints, like, I'm not going to get them. So, like, if you're interested in me and you want to kiss, like, say that, please. Because otherwise, I'm just kind of vibing. So, that was important to me. But, like, we need to actually talk.
And of course, Ilya agrees because he's like, just touch my dick. Oh my God.
Well, and it's so interesting because it is an agreement, but it's not it's not like, yes, he says, well, I'll try. Or he says, okay, I'll try, which is probably the best that he can do at this point.
But boy, does he commit.
But boy, does he
he's
commit.
more honest than anyone else. Like, he's the second. I love him so much. The second he has like permission to go all in on loving Shane Hollander, goddamn, he's gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
He probably hasn't loved anyone this big since, I mean, Svetlana, like
That's not the same.
It's not
That's
the same
different,
as she says in episode 5.
Mhm.
But yeah, since his mom probably.
Yeah. Now, Ilya says, of course, he needs an ensuite bathroom and he needs a king-size bed
or an
and
ensuite
a view.
bedroom if you read the subtitles.
Right. Fuck the subtitles.
Oh my god, I didn't even catch that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Amazing.
it says ensuite.
Oh my
I
god,
thought
wait.
there was something called an ensuite bedroom where your bedroom has a bedroom, and I was
No.
like, wow, these rich people are being crazy.
No.
This is a kind
Oh
of
my
real
God.
estate I don't even know about. They're in a different tax bracket than me.
On the topic of subtitles, let me just say, I am working with our Russian friend to re-subtitle all of the Russian scenes, and then I will be putting them on YouTube with the correct translations. So that will be available for people. We're working on that. So if you heard our conversation last episode and the one before, and we were talking about all of the poor translation, I promise we're working on it. We're bringing that to you guys. So I will be sharing that on socials and on YouTube once that's ready. So keep that in mind. Now, so like he needs a king size bed, all this kind of stuff.
This is not a king size bed.
No, not a single one of these rooms is a king size bed.
That's
but
a double for sure.
someone who works on the show, and I can't remember who it was someone who works on like the set, responded to someone on Threads and was like, we didn't think you guys would notice. Because we were like, oh shit. And they were just hoping that no one would notice.
You think I don't know what a king size bed looks like?
Right.
But also, I don't think they need a king size bed the way they sleep on top of each other. Like,
But again, we have another long shot. So we immediately cut from the last scene to this, coming up the steps into the kitchen. Shane runs into the stool, which I love. I just love that they were like, that didn't ruin the shot. Let's just keep going. Shane runs into the stool at the counter.
Our little ADHD Hudson with like not very good awareness of his body, just like running into shit.
So they're walking through the kitchen all the way up to Shane's room into like this whole sex scene. This scene is, again, one shot, 1 minute and 45 seconds, which is just great. I love as they like climb the stairs and go into Shane's room. Shane trades Ilya's hand from his right hand to his left hand, and as he's doing it, Ilya takes the hand that's free and smacks Shane on the butt. And like this is all off camera, so you have to like watch for it. But I love it. I love it so much. So just a banger of a line that I love is, "Sir, I'm just a bellboy." It's so domestic. I love it.
No, this whole just little scene of him just being so happy to get to go to like to be in Shane's cottage, like the way he looks around with the biggest grin on his face and like the butt slap and the I think I know the way the staff likes to be treated after all these years. Like it's
after
so
all these
good.
years.
It's so good. After all these years.
Whew.
And of course Shane gets up to close the shades, and I just love the way that Ilya's like, no, and grabs it and like opens the shades back up because like
they deserve
like,
sunshine.
Ilya is committed to the bit. He's like, no. You promised me 2 weeks alone. We're not hiding. This ain't Vegas with a lot of windows. By the way, I love the fact that Shane in Vegas is like, oh my god, there's a lot of windows. And I'm like, what fucking floor are you on,
Right.
bro? Like, come on, you're
who's
fine.
watching you?
The moose?
Me.
From the cup chair.
On the window, suction cups. What are you guys doing in there?
Yes.
There's just like, it's free. It's private. They're being playful. We've never seen them have playful sex before. Ever. It's always been so fraught with like desperation and shame. And I just love that we get this. And we also get this parallel of Shane against the window and Shane against the wall in his hotel room in episode 1. And the way that Ilya's like holding his face and just like all of this, the whole like blowjob bit of it is just a parallel to episode 1. But this is in the daytime, sunlight, we're older, we're more comfortable with each other, we know each other, we're somewhere safe now.
We love each other. Like, this is no longer just sex. Like, we care about each other. We've been doing this for so long.
The face grab was so interesting to me because I think he does it in the first episode because he's like, let me show you how to do this, kid. In this episode, I think Shane was about to like go down and he was like, no, I need to lift you up. I need to kiss you on the face more. And I was like, okay, here we go. That's love, baby.
I love all of the face grabbing that Ilya does. I love that.
Honestly, I feel like it's really like the way that obviously my therapist brain is interpreting it is it's almost like grounding for Shane. It's grounding for both of them. Like it's like, okay, here's this intimacy of I'm holding you, you're looking at me, and I'm also gonna like, I've got you almost like
the bathroom in Vegas too.
Yes.
Shane is having this big emotional moment and Ilya's holding his face and making him look up, right? It's this very intentional, like, don't try to escape this. Like, look here.
It's very, it's very dom coded, and I'm very into it.
Yeah, no, like it's great.
There's so many stories and like, you know, like love stories that revolve around like sub-dom dynamics, and I think all of them, not all of them, but I think a lot of them just get it wrong or just like it's here for fun or whatever. When I was reading the book, I was like, this is the first time like they're making it make sense from an emotional point of view, where it's like Ilya doesn't have control in his life. He can have control with this person. Shane is a person that has too much control over everything. It stresses him out. He can release when he's with this person. And then like when you see throughout the books, Ilya's like, I love when you let go. And then like Shane is like, I love when you take charge, when you're confident in yourself in this like emotional space. And I was like, yeah, that's what it's about. Not stupid, I don't know, whatever 50 Shades of Grey was doing. I didn't see it. Straight people, you know.
I didn't either.
Autistic Shane loves when he gets direct instructions from Ilya in the bedroom.
Yeah, are you autistic? Are you a sub or are you just autistic?
It's a Venn diagram, I think.
Both. This Venn diagram is a circle. And Shane Hollander.
Porque no los dos. We cut to burger time. Now, okay.
Yes.
Now, Robert is not here. So we promised Robert that we would talk about the one thing that they really wanted to mention, which was making fun of Shane for not knowing how to split the recipe.
I think it's not that he doesn't know how to split the recipe. It's that it like doesn't occur to him that he can split the recipe. Like he was given instructions and so he's going to follow the instructions.
I love that he cooks all of them though.
He doesn't like freeze any.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, the part that really gets me is like, I can understand, you know, you make all these burgers, but the fact that he puts them all on buns and has them like sitting ready to go, I'm like, no, you freeze the patties, bud, and then you can you can eat them later. But like the fact that you made them into burgers, like,
right?
Listen, he's a hockey autistic. He's not a math autistic. We've talked about this before. Okay. I don't know what Ilya's wearing, but I hate it.
I think I've seen my father in this exact outfit, and it makes me want to die.
I need to come back for my coffee break. That is called Adam Sandler chic, and we must respect it. It is the forefathers of New Hampshire lake houses. He is repping it. I'm proud of him. Back to my coffee.
No, it's like the ill-fitting polo of it all, like just takes me out.
Who did you steal that from? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, where did it come from? He didn't bring that. That's not his. I'm like 90% sure.
We're relaxing together. I'm going to dress like Adam Sandler.
But even Shane is like, I'm in nice shorts and then also in like this wonderful button up that Ilya is wearing later. That was very intentional from the costume department. They started in this episode, they started working in pieces that they could be sharing. And so this t-shirt or this button up shirt, this flannel that is shared between the two of them, that was intentional. Shane says, leave me alone. And Ilya says no and kisses him on the neck. And I'm like, that is what I long for in life, is to be like, ew, leave me alone. And someone's like, no, never.
It's cuteness aggression. It's the like, it's like when you want to bite your partner on their shoulder or whatever, or you're like, yeah, it's so cute.
So they're eating together. Ilya says he knows nothing about Shane's family, but then he's like, I know your parents' names, and I also know that your mother is Japanese. And I'm like, okay, mister, I know nothing. That's quite a bit. People have speculated that they're drinking ginger ale, but I refuse to accept that. This is beer. This is
No,
beer.
it's
They're having
beer.
beer. This is summer Shane. He's having beer and burgers. This is not ginger ale. And as someone who drinks it religiously, I promise you, ginger ale would have so many more bubbles.
Yeah.
So fuck out of here with that shit.
My detail from this scene is that all the condiments are put into fancy little things and not
Yes.
actually in the condiments. And I'm like, what is Shane Hollander doing on the TikTok store on Clean Talk? Like emptying out the fridge like things and putting into fancier things. And I was like, I don't know. I mean, I think they do everything on purpose, but I was like, that's so on brand for Shane to do, to be like, I need to make it all look nice. What I gotta like that. Yeah, that's what I noticed about the scene.
I'm going to talk about Robert again because, you know, sometimes I can still hear his voice, but
It's like he's still here with us.
whenever we watch, because we watched this together on FaceTime when it dropped on Christmas, and I think Robert's first comment upon watching the episode was, "What the fuck kind of squeeze bottles are those?"
They're TikTok shop.
We have this whole conversation about his parents and how David works for the Treasury Board of Canada.
No, it kills me every time the way Ilya's like, so your dad is boring? And Shane's like, no, he's normal. He works for the Treasury Board of Canada. I was like, that is a boring job. That is a boring job. Your dad is boring.
And then we have, you know, Erin's gonna finish this line for me. He says he played hockey for McGill.
Whoa, McGill. What the fuck is McGill?
A town?
That's so
It's a school.
Ilya asks Shane if his parents know that he's gay, and Shane says no. And I love that, like, Ilya really is like, he's like, okay, fine, if you want to like talk, we'll talk, and he pushes more, right? We've never really pushed in conversations before. It's been like I'll ask a question, you clearly aren't terribly comfortable with it, we're gonna move on, or like a no, I don't want to talk about this. And now Ilya's like, would they not be good about it? And we have this conversation where things get kind of awkward because Shane is a little bit uncomfortable. He says that he thinks he may have told his parents sooner if it weren't for, you know, just the Ilya of it all. But it's amazing because he pauses and then the camera switches to Ilya, and if you watch Shane nods at Ilya. If you watch like the corner of him that you can see in the shot, Shane nods at Ilya like if it weren't for, you know, you. And that's when Ilya says, oh, this is my fault.
I mean, I do think it's a valid concern because I feel like, okay, you come out as gay, people are going to be like, okay, so do you have a boyfriend? Like, is there a man in your life? And so then you either have to continue lying or you do have to bring up this 10-year situationship that you've had going on with your rival.
Not the moose.
The Driftwood moose in the driveway.
The Driftwood moose of it all.
I do want to jump in here with the like, oh, this is my fault. Because you can see, Connor's acting here, as per usual, is really beautiful and subtle in a lot of ways. Like you see his face fall and the realization sort of come crashing over him. But he has his whole life, even while his mother was alive, because it sounds like his dad kind of like hated his mom.
There was a big age gap between his parents, and there was one between Paulina, Ilya's stepmother, and his father. So he very much dated younger women.
Yeah.
And that's a thing that we get from the book that we don't get from the show, is that there was a big age gap between Grigorievich and his wives.
Yeah, and so I think even before Ilya's mother died, his father and brother both saw Ilya as like this burdensome thing, not as a valuable human being and part of the family. And it worsened after mom died. And so here's Shane, like essentially telling him that he's the reason that he hasn't come out to his parents. I imagine that would like really poke all those tender spots in Ilya subconsciously of like, oh shit, here's another way, this person that I'm like so in love with, here's another way that I'm a burden, which again, we'll get a lot more of in the long game. But I think it's such a great way to foreshadow what that's going to look like. They're like dynamic between each other, because Shane loves him and Shane knows that, but Ilya cannot every little thing will take him back to that feeling of being a burden.
That's also very true for depression, is that rejection dysphoria. Is that what rejection sensitive dysphoria or something like that?
Yep, that's exactly
it. Yeah. And so anything that you could say like, oh, I can't hang out right now, is I'm like, you're rejecting me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's definitely, you hate me. I also think there's this moment where when Ilya says, I think you can tell your parents that you're gay without giving them a list of all the guys you're fucking, is Ilya prodding to see how many other guys have you slept with?
I never thought of it that way.
And I'm like, Bubby, it's you. It's just you, babe.
Who's on the list, Shane?
Who's on the list? And then also Ilya has his hand on Shane's thigh, and immediately Shane pulls away and takes their plates and gets up and leaves. And Ilya sits back in the chair, and this is this first moment of this episode where he seems resigned. He's just like kind of having this moment of like, oh shit, there's a lot to overcome.
You know what I just realized as we're talking about this, that's not in my notes? I wonder if this is taking him straight back to Tuna Melt Day and Shane leaving. I wonder, I literally wonder if he's like, oh fuck, this happened, this is happening again. Yeah.
He's running.
He's emotionally disconnecting from me. He's getting up and taking the plates. He's cleaning this up.
I remember being so annoyed because like the scenes before Shane was like, all right, like we're going to be honest and talk to each other. And then the first time Ilya's like, okay, we'll give it a try. Shane was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, absolutely not. And I was like, it was your idea.
Not that honest, okay? It's too honest. Too honest, too fast.
And this is a very important scene that we cut to next is the fire outside of the cottage.
Sorry, I'm like fucking stressed out right now.
I mean, I have so many notes about this.
But I also this is a scene that I'm so glad stayed true to the book. I love, and also just from like a film perspective, I love the aesthetic of the scene. I love the lighting and like the color grading. Like everything is so beautiful and warm. I love the aesthetic of the cottage behind them is just gorgeous. It's very Pinterest, you know?
Yes.
Pinterest aesthetic, like summer cottage. And so Rose is texting Shane, who's laughing at her text, and Ilya is so
he does this little like
jealous.
Sniff thing. He does this little like
sniff.
I know,
the anxious sniff that he does. Yeah,
not so gay that you can't fuck Rosal Hendry. I can't do a Russian accent, but like
that wasn't bad.
Yeah, that was great, Mal.
But then we get this is like. Yes, you're right, Mal. Your notes and mine are the same. Is that this is the second time that Shane has ever said, I'm gay. But this is the first time that he's ever said, I'm gay. Not like the first time is, I think I might be gay. Now
that's true.
I'm gay. And he's owning this. Ilya, I'm gay. I love it. Now the loon, of course, is straight from the book. The stupid Canadian wolfbird is amazing how freaked out Ilya gets by this. A lot of people are like, he's Russian. Of course, he would know what a wolf sounds like. Bitch, no. He's from Moscow.
He's a city boy.
Oh, he wouldn't. They don't just have wolves in the city.
I don't know. Russia's weird, man.
Who knows what goes on there?
So, okay, this is... I love that I'm getting to share this with you guys. I don't know if you know this already. Shane makes a loon call, right? Which, by the way, he didn't actually do it. This is not real. They added this in post. Like, it's not actually Hudson. But he makes a loon call called, like, the tremolo, I think, is what it's called, which is also called the crazy laugh. This is the sound that a loon makes as an alarm call when humans or other loons get too close. It's like a stay away, back off sound. Shane is literally telling the loons to back off his man because he's scared.
Oh,
that's adorable.
Bro.
Also, when I was watching this with, you know, the roommate gang, my roommate's boyfriend was like, that bird call is the most autistic thing that Shane has could ever do. He was like, I think if he showed Ilya a train set in his basement, it would be less autistic than that just was.
Of course, Ilya says, I hate you. And Shane says, no, you don't. Brother, I have something to say about that in just a moment. We will come back to it. But we just sit here. So we just sit here and look at it. Shane's like, yes, we just sit here and look at it. And Ilya says, Canada's fun.
Okay, but it's another God, Ilya, master of deflection. Shane is inviting him again into this slow space. And Ilya's like, I am so uncomfortable. I have to make a joke about how Canada is so boring. Like, but then in the next scene, we see this blocking that feels so intentional with Ilya resting his head on Shane's lap. That's like, he's fully like, once Ilya commits, he's like all in.
And when Shane says, "Do you want to go inside?" he says no.
Yeah.
He's like, no.
Because
no.
he craves boring. Like, that's what he wants more than anything else. I saw, I'm just going to keep quoting Threads posts, and I really should, like, collect them before we do this so that way I can credit these people. But I saw one, or maybe it was a tweet, I don't know. I saw one that was like, Ilya's biggest, most secret fantasy is probably some romantic shit, like he and Shane are like dancing in the kitchen while dinner burns, and Shane's like most secret fantasy is like Ilya pinning him against the refrigerator with his hand on his throat, like spitting into his mouth. Like, Ilya wants that like romance, that closeness, that just like domestic whatever, and Shane is freak horny. You know.
But Shane also loves these. Yeah, I think they definitely have these moments of they both love the rough sex and the taunting and the chirping of it all by nature, I think. But also they have these very gentle, I mean, I don't know. People just like, Erin, you said something incredible over the past week. Because don't make that face. What? No, because Mal said that she hates how people see Shane as being sexless, and you said it's because it's the autism. People think that people with autism are not sexual.
I have a friend who's autistic, and I was talking about him just like, I think it was like with my family, like with my parents, and I was like, I made a joke and I was like, he's back on Tinder. And my mom was like, oh, he's on Tinder? I'm like, yeah, he's a 25-year-old man. Yes. Yes.
Just the overall in our society infantilization of people with autism like pisses me the fuck off. Makes me so mad.
We cut to the boys laying, I mean, Ilya is laying across Shane's lap.
He loves Shane to be like, laying in a lap with someone he loves playing with his hair.
The hand in the curls.
And I love
it with Svetlana, now he's getting to do it with Shane.
One more gender, he has them all.
He does. He loves to squeeze a titty. He's like such a bisexual. He loves to squeeze a tit. No, but if you go back to the scene with Svetlana and then come to the scene where...
Are you going to talk about the color difference?
I'm going to talk about the way that Ilya has his hand that's like up. Like he's laying on his side and then he has one hand up. His hand with Svetlana is in like a tight fist. And part of that is because they're talking about like the All-Star game and he's stressed.
Rose.
But he's not fully relaxed with her. He is fully relaxed with Shane. His hand is like fully relaxed on his torso. His face is relaxed. He's just like blissed out.
I noticed the color difference, and let me clarify. We're not saying anything about Svetlana. He loves her dearly. That is his person, right? Like, there's no shade to Svetlana here at all. Do not misunderstand us.
No.
However, I want to compare the colors of the scenes. In the scene with Svetlana, they're watching TV. Everything is very cold and blue from the TV. And here with Shane, it's warm. There's a fire. There's warmth, right? So I think those differences are really beautiful as well. The fact that overall this episode is very warm. There's so much sunlight and so much firelight and dim lighting in this episode. It's beautiful, and it really lends to the emotion of like it's the slow burn. It's the comfort of the dying fire, right? Because it's still there. It's constant. It's not roaring and in your face and too much, right?
So when you guys think of interesting details, I noticed the moose and the ketchup bottles. So there's also something I noticed in one of the scenes with the lighting that made me laugh so hard. But again, sorry, I say that because I want you to remind me to tell.
Shane's just watching Ilya, and Ilya's made fun of the campfire first, and now he's so peaceful. He's laying there. Shane's playing with his hair, and this is just so intimate, and Ilya feels so safe that he opens up more than he ever has. This is the moment where we learn about his childhood trauma, right? We, find out he hasn't talked to Alexei since his dad's death, and he's like, I don't know if it's a good thing, probably.
It's very interesting to me that he was going back to Russia for the summer
Yeah.
before the Scott Hunter kiss. Because it's like, boy, what were you going to do? Like, you haven't talked to your brother. You pretty much cut ties. Like, what were you about to do in Russia over this summer? Like, that's... Thank God Scott decided to kiss his boyfriend because he did not need to be going back to Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shane says, even if they suck, you must miss them. And the line that is just like a gut punch is, my mother didn't suck.
Mm-hmm.
And Miranda, I texted you last night because I wanted you to talk about the fact that the very first word that Ilya uses to describe his mother is funny.
Yeah.
She was so funny and
She was so
beautiful.
funny. Mm-hmm.
Ugh. And so we'll get to that, but we find out that she died by accident. She accidentally swallowed a whole bottle of pills.
Oops.
And in the book, there he says, oops.
I almost miss the oops a little bit because
I do too.
It feels a little more like, because we've talked a lot about Ilya sort of using jokes as this shield, and it feels almost like his attempt to make a joke here, to kind of turn this thing that is very much not a joke and is very serious, like, into a joke and make it less serious, but like it of course falls so flat because it's like not a joke. I don't know. I miss the oops. I do.
I will say that I think that a lot of Ilya's joking also is because, again, I think I talked about this last week, but just the fact that he's like, this is what scared Shane the first time, so I'm going to make sure I keep it light. I'm going to bring it back, just because I'm like, oh shit, don't scare him. I made that mistake once. I can't make that mistake again.
Shane from a few months ago, episode 4 Shane is a very different man than episode 6 Shane. Like, the world opens up when you say that you're gay for the first time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so people have said online that like Shane doesn't react enough here. I actually just think that like that's totally incorrect. I think he's very much just taking this in. Like this is something that the autism really informs, is that he's like, wow, like people with autism don't typically react in the way you expect them to or the way that society expects them to. And so right now, Shane is trying to be stable and he's trying to take this all in because this is big. And so he's just kind of trying to like...
Genuine question. What do people want him to do in this situation? Like...
Mm-hmm.
all you can do is just like be there for someone who's like telling you this thing. Like, what sort of bigger reaction do you want?
I actually see this as Shane like offering a co-regulating space for Ilya. So regulating your nervous system is so hard, especially when you're by yourself. But like in therapy, if I see a client getting activated and starting to go into like panic or whatever, sometimes I'll just focus on my own breath and just kind of like model what calm looks like. And we have these things in our brains called mirror neurons, and they will start to match the energy of someone in the room. And so like if you are calm in the face of someone who's panicking or angry or whatever, oftentimes if you maintain that calmness, the other person will drop down into calm with you or like just,
meet you there.
And I think what Shane is doing is he's really attuned to Ilya and is like, this is not the time for me to have some sort of emotional freak out. And because he's quiet, because he's calm, because his energy, like he doesn't remove his hands from Ilya, hand stays in the hair, hand stays on the shoulder.
Doesn't try to make Ilya look at him.
Exactly. He's allowing that space, and that allows Ilya to like continue to be open about it. Mm-hmm. They're co-regulating together, which is so beautiful.
And so Ilya was 12 when Irina died. Mm-hmm. And not only that, he is the one who found her. He thought that she was taking a nap.
Yep.
And his father told him to tell everyone that it was an accident.
His father tried to essentially tell Ilya that it was an accident. And Ilya was like, oh, I know what I saw. So like, that's not what happened.
Yeah. The pill bottle and
Yeah.
And I just think,
poor baby.
Yeah, the trauma of that, I can't imagine how much it must have hurt him to think I wasn't enough for her to stay.
Especially with hockey. There's a conversation that Ilya has in the long game where he talks about why he started playing. Well, that when he started playing hockey, his mom loved watching him play. And that was part of why he continued, was because she was so happy when he was playing hockey. And so for then that not to be enough, and for his like, for then him to make it like his whole personality, I'm good at this thing and I'm going to be the best at this thing, like, is also just devastating.
And you know, the whole winning the cup and saying like, for you, mom.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then to think now, to get what he wants most in the world, he has to go to the fucking Ottawa Centaurs, who suck.
For now.
Yeah, he says, I don't want you to think that she was weak. And Shane says, I don't.
And I think that's so important. Like, because I think at this point, even if he's not ready to admit it, he has recognized some of his mother in himself. Like, he is so like mother. And he's like, I need to know that you don't think that she's weak for this, because I think I am like her. Like, we are the same.
I also, the punctuation in the way this line is said is, she was so funny and beautiful, period. She was so sad, not and she was so sad. It's not a defining characteristic of who his mother was. His mother was beautiful and funny, period. She was so sad.
You know who else is beautiful and funny and so sad? Her son.
Ilya.
I was gonna say, the second that line came out, I was like, he's talking to a mirror.
Yeah.
Like it felt like it felt like when I rewatched the show in episode 4, when he's looking in the mirror at himself, like he fucking hates himself after their breakup ish thing, I was like, that's what's playing over in his head.
And there are moments in the long game where his internal monologue is his father calling him pathetic and weak and worthless. So this scene makes me really sad. And I, again, to come back to it, Miranda, I had asked you, like, what is it about people who are so funny, and how, like, the funniest people you know are the ones who are, like, devastatingly depressed. And then I was like, I can't wait for you to tell us about this with our stand-up comedian friend, Erin.
Erin, is everything okay with you? Just wondering.
Oh, we've been 20 years in the making, buddy.
Let's
worry.
go.
We're working on it. It's true, though. It's 100% true.
Like, okay, here's what I wrote down exactly what I texted you, Camille. I said, I think that, like, traumatized people are often the funniest people on earth, because true impactful humor draws on a depth of, like, life experience that only, like, deep life experience can provide, right? So when you experience trauma, there's a reason why gallows humor is such a great coping mechanism, because it connects us all. It lightens the mood. And if you can use humor to cope, that is a connective thing too. It helps people feel like they're not alone.
Sitting in your feelings is so uncomfortable. Like, some people are better at it. I'm the worst. I say it's because I'm an Aquarius. That's not true. It's because of other reasons. But
because you're an Aquarius.
And
correct. And like so the second I had to, I was in a mental health hospital one time. And this, we had, you had to go through the fucking daily therapy and go to fucking million therapy groups. It was, whatever. I'm healthy, whatever. But like the second something came up that like made me uncomfortable, I was like, I got a joke for this. And they were like, you keep doing that, like deflecting. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, like, that's healthy, right? And they're like, well, you sometimes just have to sit and be uncomfortable with the emotion. And that's also how I feel about the post blowjob scene where he's making the jokes, and then Shane is like, that's not what this is. And I was like, you just made him so uncomfortable. He wants to crawl out of his skin.
Yeah.
And that, well, for me, so I think of like Robin Williams. And since Robin Williams' death, I actually don't think that I've watched a single project of his, just because I adored him so much in life that I think I realized when he died how much I related to him, in that, like, for me, like, people who don't have depression don't really understand that, like, I could finish this recording and have a wonderful time and then get in bed and just start crying because I feel like everybody hates me and nobody wants to be around me. And like I have direct proof that that's not true because one of you invited yourselves on this podcast and the other one was like, hell yes.
I was about to make that joke and then I was like, no, sit with the feelings. It's okay, Erin. You can sit with the feelings. But I was about to make that joke.
But like, so I can have these moments of sharing a brain cell, clown to clown, you know, on these podcast episodes while we're recording. But then I sit down afterwards and I go, but none of them are here. And if they actually loved me, they'd be sitting here with me, which is not true. But that's how the depression works. And so for me, my humor, a lot of it, it's less deflection. It's because my friends know I will sit in an emotion for a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't want anyone to ever feel as sad as I feel. I would rather make people laugh because I don't ever want them to feel this sadness because there are very few people I would wish it on, and I think everybody here can guess who those people are. But like,
Camille.
It's okay. I live off of a little bit of spite. That's just in the recipe. But you know, I don't ever want anyone to feel as sad as I do, and so I just want to make them laugh.
When I first read The Long Game, I was like, I feel like this depression thing came out of nowhere. And then I started reflecting back on like my own personal experiences with people with depression and myself. And depression, I think Ilya, for the first decade or so, 15 years of his life after his mom died, he was in survival mode. And so your mind doesn't really think about it and you don't have to process it. And the second he's with Shane and he's happy and he can slow down a little bit, that's when it creeps back up and you're like, oh, that thing I didn't address, that is now going to be a huge thing.
I mean, it's the way that like teachers that I know get sick every time they have a break because you're just in survival mode. And then the second you're allowed to relax, your body's like, okay, we got some things to address.
Can I do like a tiny bit of psychoeducation?
No.
Please.
Yeah.
Imagine that this is your brain. This is your brainstem. This is not a video.
Do you want me to screen record?
Sure.
Okay, wait,
why
hold
not?
on.
Just a little psychoed on like where and how trauma lives in the body. So imagine that like this is your brain, okay? This is from this guy named Dan Siegel. It's called the hand model of the brain. So your fingers are wrapped around your thumb like this. This is your brainstem, your wrist, and brainstem is necessary for like, you know, breathing and just like being alive. Imagine that your fingers that are wrapped around your thumb are your prefrontal cortex. That's where all of your like logical decision-making, rational thought, the ability to like have cognitive thinking lives. And then imagine that your thumb is your amygdala. And your amygdala is where like big emotions, fear, anger, like big emotions. And also this is where trauma lives. This is where trauma gets stored, is right here. So when we are regulated, these two things, the prefrontal cortex and the amygdala, are in sync. And so you can have big emotions, but you can also make decisions. You can like think through things cognitively. When we get triggered or when we experience trauma, this guy Dan Siegel says that we like flip our lid. And this is really helpful to like explain to trauma survivors, which is that's who I work with. So your amygdala is just like raw and just like that's all you have is big emotion, which is then when your like lizard brain goes into fight, flight, freeze, fawn, flop. And so for Ilya, also the amygdala does not know how to tell time, which is why when we get triggered by something, it can sometimes feel like we are back in the trauma right now. So PTSD. Yes. The reason Ilya has been just like in this survival fight or flight mode is he doesn't have support around him. But then once his nervous system starts to regulate, exactly like you were saying, Mal, like he has the freedom and space for these things to come up. He's trying to like go like this to make them like come back to each other, but he just doesn't have the tools to do that yet. So that's my little like psychoed moment.
And also, I mean, in The Long Game, a lot of his somewhat unhealthy coping mechanisms, casual sex, the partying, the fast cars.
Doesn't have that.
Yeah, he doesn't have all of those things. Like he's in Ottawa mostly by himself a lot of the time. and, you know, can't connect with his teammates in the way that he wants. He's keeping this massive secret with Shane and like trying to split his time. And so like there's my poor precious baby.
I was going to bring this up later and we can reference it again later, but there is a moment in the long game that, and I'm going to paraphrase because there's massive spoilers that I don't want to give away. But it says, it was a tiny bit devastating to learn that none of the changes he'd made in his life had fixed him. Even with so much to be happy about, he was almost hoping for the plane to crash. No, of course he didn't want that. He just needed to get home and to his own bed and stay there forever.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. But also something about PTSD, the development of PTSD that I find really interesting is like you can experience a traumatic event and the development of post-traumatic symptoms matters. What matters the most to me is how relationally you get a response. And so if I'm in a car accident and my spouse and my parents respond like very supportively, there may be some traumatic symptomology that like occurs, but I likely won't develop PTSD. I may not develop like full-blown PTSD. If my spouse and my parents are dicks about it and like blame me and I don't get that supportive relational experience post-trauma, I may develop PTSD.
Ilya's about to give us lore about his dad and like how his dad was hard on his mom, but then we have a loon interrupting them. And I just love the laugh and the motherfucker. And I love the like that Shane is still in this with him, but he does like allow a laugh, you know, allow a little amusement. And then he comes back to Ilya and he leans forward and says, "Do you want to go inside?" And Ilya says no. And then Shane moves his hand to lace fingers with Ilya.
I noticed that.
I feel like I would be remiss in not mentioning that from what has been posted online, I think this was the very last scene that they filmed.
Correct.
Which like informs so much of the emotion and grief that's happening because they didn't know that it was going to be this. They didn't even know that season 2 was going to happen, I don't think, at this point. So like I can't watch this scene without also watching it through that lens. I'm just like, oh, these angels, they're so sad that this is ending.
There's that video of Jacob Tierney talking to everyone and Hudson just reaches up from the couch and is like holding on to him for dear life and is just like kind of sitting in the emotion of like being done. And it's, oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Guys, if enough of you listen and comment and share the podcast, we could probably talk to them next season. So I'm just saying.
I would just chirp him about carrying the Olympic torch because that's still so fucking funny to me. Like, what do you mean you got to carry the Olympic torch? What the fuck are you talking about?
Is this the first ever sleepover? Ever
so.
time waking up together?
I mean, they woke up from the nap in episode 4 together, but
like sleeping the whole night. And the fact that they wake up from sleeping all night together and are still like on top of each other.
Yeah.
Also, nighttime mouth breather Ilya Rozanov, very important to me.
Very important to me,
very
too.
Important to me.
He's going to need a CPAP in the future for sure.
No, I'm struck by the fact that, like, Shane in the book will not, like, they wake up in the morning and Ilya's like, "What do you want?" And Shane's like, "For you to go brush your teeth so that we can kiss." Like, what? Like, we can't kiss until we both brushed our teeth. Get out of my face. So the fact that he wakes up and Ilya is breathing in his face and he's not, like, repulsed, I love it. I was like, good for you, Shane. Enjoy this moment. But this is a big moment for me because I want to talk about just the stages, right? I hate you. I like you. I love you. Okay. So it's not just a progression. There's so much here. Their relationship is built on being rivals, teasing, chirping. Their very first interaction is chirping. "You will not be so nice when we beat you," right? This is the very first sentence that Ilya says to Shane. And
the first thing that Shane says about Ilya when he like is talking about meeting him to his parents is that he's kind of a dick.
Yeah.
So that's where in this whole episode, we get this verbalization of the stages and the layers of their relationship. We haven't moved past "I hate you," right? On the ice, they hate each other still. That is foundational to their relationship, is that they are competition. but competition in that they also make each other better. Because, like, if you're fast, I have to be faster. If you're strong on the puck, I have to be stronger, right? So we go from I hate you, we're built on chirping, to I like you, which is I like you as a person. I like what's in your heart. I like what's in your head. I feel safe with you. This is an environment that I enjoy being in.
I also enjoy that we just get I like you, nothing else, because we also did already get I like you in episode 4, because he's like, I like women, but I also like you. Not as a person, of course.
Uh-huh. Classic Ilya deflection.
Right. And so this is just I like you, point blank period, end of sentence. Like, ugh.
And then we have that third layer of I love you, which is you complete me, you're my person, I'm hopeless to resist this. Like, what can I do to make this stay forever and never let this go? Right? Like, if you told me that Ilya Rozanov was at the altar saying, I hate you, I'd believe you. Like, that, absolutely, he would, of course. They both would. Like, I hate you too. Yeah, absolutely. So, just this, like, moment of I like you, good morning, I like you too. We get this moment of, again, another 1,000-yard stare of Ilya's, and it's not focused on, it's very brief here, but Shane settles into Ilya's chest, and if you look at Ilya's eyes, he is staring outside. He is 1,000 miles away. And now we're cutting to Shane and Ilya playing video games, because of course they are.
This whole exchange is so funny to me. The whole, like, I'm going to be the Metros, historically the best team in sport, and Shane being like, better than the fucking Yankees. That's incredibly funny to me, because the Yankees have not won a World Series since these two started sleeping together. And now I'm not saying that it's related, but like the Yankees' last World Series title was in 2009. Originally, I thought it was that the Yankees hadn't won since they met, but no, they did win in 2009. But yeah, so I'm like, better than the Yankees? That's not hard.
We're playing video games, and Ilya says something. I just want to talk about the most fuck-ass, like, theory that I saw online, is that someone said that when Ilya says, I've always wondered what it would be like to be a Metro, that he's hinting at he's always wondered what it would be like to bottom. And I'm like, no.
Who? What?
No, not at all.
What do you mean?
Also, if Ilya wanted to bottom, he could have tried by now. Like,
yeah.
It's not.
Right.
It's not.
My assumption is that he has tried by now. Maybe not with Shane, but like...
Well, I also... Honestly, I feel like as much as he masturbates, he's probably stuck a finger up there once or twice.
Oh,
at
absolutely.
Least.
He's grabbing his butt in the shower after the club.
Correct. I love that part too.
You mean the part
my butt looks like
cheeks?
that. I'd never stop grabbing it. I just walk around with just like my hands on my ass.
Cheek. So we get this chirping back and forth, and Shane says, "You're not anything," and Ilya says, "I'm on the cover of the fucking game."
I did see people talking about how, or theorizing that the reason Shane has this game is because it's the only way that he can have like a picture of Ilya.
Oh yeah, I saw that too.
But okay, Shane is looking at the phone and he's like, "Oh, it's Hayden. They just had a baby, blah, blah, blah." And Ilya's groan as he throws himself back under the couch.
You're a baby.
You're a baby. And then, of course, just the like limp wrist down at Shane's shorts and the walking his fingers up Shane's thigh.
Just like chaotic bisexual energy to the max.
When he has his chin on Shane's knee, that's the cutest any man has ever looked. Ever, I think.
I love the I make you a deal, right? Because it's just like the bathroom in Vegas. Like, I'll make you a deal, right? I just love, and there's this whole conversation to be had. Like, all these people are like, "Oh, this is like this consent is an issue here," and I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not, because they communicate very clearly with each other, and that has been the whole point. Is that from the very beginning regarding sex, they have communicated explicitly, clearly.
And
right?
like Shane initially is kind of like no, and then Ilya's like, "Well, I won't do it if you won't get hard," and then he's like, "Well, I won't get hard." Like it's not a no, seriously, we're not doing this. This is a like now we're playing a game.
It's
like,
a competition,
right?
But also Shane literally sits his ass on the top of the couch to give Ilya better access. So like,
no, don't suck my dick as I place it in prime dick sucking position.
Correct.
Please.
I love the way that Ilya matches Shane's inflection when he says Ilya and he goes Shane. That's so good. So good. But like, they're competing. Shane loves a challenge. Okay. This is just how they are. Okay. So we also again need to talk about this fandom's misunderstanding of the word improv, right? Connor didn't just slap Hudson in the face on set. He thought about this in advance. What improv means is it wasn't scripted. It's not like, oh, he just thought about it in a moment and slapped Hudson in the face. No. What do you can you imagine? Jesus Christ.
The intimacy coordinator in the back was like, guys,
whoa!
what the fuck?
I want to say this scene, I saw a lot of people saying they wish they'd cut this scene. This scene is vitally important. As funny and throwaway as it seems, this scene is very important because this allows us to have the conversation. Because from the book, I'll just read you this with the internal monologue and all. It says, God, fuck you. Why was that so hot? And Ilya says, because you like to be bad, Shane Hollander. And then the internal monologue says, and whoa. Saying those exact words twisted something inside of Ilya. He was just teasing Shane, but he wondered how true those words were. Was that, perhaps, all this was to Shane? Rebellion. Was that all he was to Shane? So we have to have this moment of Shane being bad, right? So that he can then say to Ilya, that's not what this is. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was once upon a time, but it's not now.
It's not him saying that, like, oh, I'm being bad because it's, like, you, and that's the part that's bad. No, I'm being bad because I'm on the phone with my best friend, and it's sort of horny little freak behavior to, like, get a blowjob while your friend is telling you about their new baby. That's what's, like, hot and rebellious about it. Like, it's no longer Ilya feels rebellious and, like, they shouldn't be doing this. But it's, like, important for them to make that distinction because up until this point, that's what it has been.
Yes, and there's like no way that he didn't know that something odd was happening.
I don't think.
Oh, I fully believe he doesn't know.
Oh, you do?
He has no idea.
I'm on the hating kind of being an idiot train.
He is
not in a bad way. Just like I think he has the golden retriever brain where it's like not one thought.
I think you also have to consider the head injuries of it all because like these are hockey players. Like
that's fair.
They have had many concussions.
Consider the 4 children.
Oh yeah, it's probably chaos at his house.
Yeah. Chaos. There's a new baby, his wife, he's got a brother-in-law who's talking about having been in town, 4 kids with a new baby again. So lots of screaming, lots of crying, lots of playing, lots of So no, I genuinely don't think that Hayden.
Okay.
I do not think. Like as someone who grew up with 4 siblings, nah. We're outside kicking a soccer ball, and Ilya soft launches this idea that he may not want to re-sign with Boston when he's a free agent, which is crazy for a career player like him, because when you have someone who is playing at his caliber, they don't, like, you get drafted by this team, and then a lot of times you just stay with that team. Like the Preds, our captain, Roman Josi, he's been with us since he was drafted. Pekka Rinne stayed with us his entire career. That's just very typical, especially for like beloved players, is they don't really go anywhere when they're such an asset to the team, right? So it's kind of, it is crazy that he would not think to stay with Boston.
My jaw dropped at that part because like I was like, oh, they're starting to like the wall's coming down a little bit, maybe and like Ilya's like, what if I left Boston? And I was like, oh my god, like damn, he really went 0 to 100.
And when we say that Ilya, like committed Ilya is all in, and he's taught, like Connor has talked about this, the like Eastern European thing of it all, where like he's playing Ilya and he's done a lot of research where they're, he's pretty standoffish as Ilya up front, but when you let him in, he's like all fully committed.
All yeah. And I mean, I think that's why it's Ilya who's offering to leave his team rather than Shane at this point, because not to say that like Ilya is more committed to this relationship, because I also think that like Shane is also committed to this relationship, but there's also just like sort of the way that the opportunities are, like Shane still has time on his contract, like more so than Ilya does, and so it just like it does make sense in this moment. But then also like Ilya is willing to leave Boston for Shane, I think, in a way that Shane is not willing at this point to leave Montreal.
Mhm.
Also because, like, the hockey is not as important to Ilya as it is to Shane.
Montreal. I
Mm.
hate you. I want to see you die and Unrivaled.
One of my friends was talking about getting Montreal merch, and I was like, hey, maybe don't.
And people on threads are like, I'm going to get a Montreal tattoo, a Montreal Metros tattoo. And I'm like, I wish she wouldn't. Like, I really wish she would wait.
I'm like, you know what? Fuck spoilers. I'm going to tell you, do not
Don't do
that.
this.
So Ilya is considering a Canadian team, but not Montreal. And he's talking about how he'd love to not have a Russian passport. But in the books, he does say that America is not so good for Russians now, and Russia is not so good for ... Russians like me. So
I have a question about this.
Yeah.
Could he have not, at this point in the past 10 years as he's been working in the US, could he have not gotten a citizenship? Or does it not work like that?
I don't know that it works like that in America. Maybe in Canada, but I'm not quite sure.
I don't really know how citizenship works, and I think that's a privilege that I have as someone who was born in a country that I wanted to stay in most of the time. So yeah,
I was just curious because, like, I when he said that, I was like, couldn't you just get one in America? And maybe he's just saying this because he's like, no.
Well, he's also saying America's not so good for Russians.
Yeah, that's true. We are unfortunately not good for anyone.
Not good for anyone. Correct.
At the moment that he says he would love to not have a Russian passport, he kicks the ball towards Shane, and it looks like Shane is about to, like, reach down and grab the ball and stop play to be like, whoa, hold on. But then Ilya, like, dives in and kicks it away and brings that playfulness back again. And he's also not making any eye contact in this scene. He is very much just focused on the ball. And, like, Shane is trying so hard to comprehend what Ilya is just casually saying to him. Boy, oh fucking boy. Now we have the scene in the living room.
The toes.
With the toes.
And I just want to compare this to episode 4, where they were also sitting on opposite ends of a couch, and just how different
not touching
this feels. Because that was the last time we've seen them, like, sitting on a couch having a conversation. And that felt like a first date. This, we're holding toes, baby.
I now have to call back to what I was going to previously say. The lighting in this scene is very, very warm, and I love that. However, the close-up on Shane, the light's reflecting on his hair that is very, very dark, and every time I watch it, it looks like he has frosted tips from the 90s. Everyone, please go look at that scene right now and tell me it doesn't look like that man doesn't have frosted tips, because that light is blaring so much on his black hair. Like, I hate that I noticed that. Well, now I made everyone notice it, but because, like, it takes me out of the scene so much, but he looks like he's, like, in, like, Dragon Ball Z or something.
I'm looking it up.
I'm also looking it up right now.
Oh.
Doesn't it look like it?
It kind of does.
Dude, I can't not see. Like, I remember first watching. Yeah, right? I was watching it and I was like, why the fuck does his hair look like that? It's literally frosted tips. Look at it. Look at it.
I've never noticed that.
Oh my God.
I watch this show too much.
But no, just the fact that, like, they have their toes pressed together on the couch. And it again, it reminds me of the way that Ilya says hard things to Shane while maintaining physical contact every single time.
Every time.
Like the bathroom scene and, like, all these different scenes where he's going to say something hard or he's going to say no, but he's always making physical contact to ground Shane. And I just have this, like, my brain, like, I love to be analytical and I love to notice details, but there are moments where I'm sitting here and I'm going, am I understanding this right? But then we don't have Ilya's monologue at this point in the book. So, like, for me, the way that he says, I could marry Svetlana, she would help me, is very taunting. And I almost, like, not taunting in a bad way, but I'm like, what what is your take on, like, why he's saying this?
That's a good question.
I low-key read it as he was kind of testing the waters. Because,
like, trying to see if Shane would
because it was
something.
First we had the passport scene, them playing soccer, and then he's like, you know, I could get a Canadian passport. Oh, you know, da da da. And then And then they didn't really finish the conversation. It's like, yeah, maybe, I don't know what's going to happen. And then this happened. He goes, I could marry Svetlana.
Yeah, which is interesting considering he just said that, like, America's not so good for Russians. Like, oh, you're going to get an American passport through marrying Svetlana. I think it's a way of him trying to see, like, what future do you see here? Like, it's definitely way too early for us to be talking about marrying each other, but, like, do you see that? Because I think at this point, Ilya is like, I think Shane is it for me, and I would like to marry him, and I would like to settle down with him, and I need to know if he's also there, and citizenship is a way to sort of bring that up.
So in the book, in this scene, Shane's internal monologue highlights this as being his worst nightmare, is Ilya marrying Svetlana or marrying someone else, which I think is very important to realize here.
I mean, you can read that on Hudson Williams' face in this moment, though, I gotta say. Like, he looks like he's gonna kill everyone in this room and then himself. Like,
Yeah. No, but Paige made a great point when she was talking about, like, how she could clock Shane as being autistic, is the fact that he does not, like, he thinks he's doing a great job of, like, keeping his emotions in check, but they are all over his face at all times. He thinks he's doing a really good job, but he's not.
He's not crying because the tears don't fall.
Exactly. And this is one of those moments of Shane just being, like, unable to regulate how strongly he feels in this moment, right? And Ilya can very clearly see this because he softens so much. But I was just thinking, like, I don't think that Svetlana in the show at this point would marry him unless there was a direct threat.
At this point, no.
Not after what happened in Russia at Ilya's father's funeral.
Yeah, I think...
Which is, again, why I was like, this is Ilya's, like, teasing or doing something, because I don't think she actually would marry him because... No.
I fully think it's him. It's kind of the same way he had to ask 16 times, are you still dating Rose? But he had to do it all these back-ass ways. Like, I think he's like, okay, I don't say exactly what I want to say, but, like, how would you feel?
I mean, I think it's, you know, he already scared him off once just by calling him by his first name.
Yeah.
So I think these, like, sort of workaround type questioning that he's doing is also in part because he's like, if I come out and I'm like, hey, would you want to get married someday? I think Shane would freak out. And that may be true.
Well, there's also so Shane brings up, like, but you like women. So, like, you could find a woman you actually really love and marry her, and then it wouldn't just be for citizenship. And Ilya's like, yes, but I have a problem. Right, is that I'm surrounded by beautiful women all the time, and they're so fun and sexy. And Shane's like,
Shane
yeah,
is like,
I know.
Tell me where these beautiful women are, and I will find them, and I will kill them with a gun.
But then, I love the way that Ilya says, yes, listen. Because he's like, I'm not done. I'm not done.
Yeah, the listen is so important.
Yes, because he's understanding, like, Shane is going into his head, right? And he goes, yes, listen, and says all these beautiful women, but he can't stop thinking about Shane, and he can't stop wishing that all of these women were Shane. And now this is changed from the book. I think it's a very good change because there are a couple different reasons. One, we've talked, like, I feel like I've talked ad nauseum, but it's probably a lot of it has been cut, is that, like, I'm glad that there's no height difference in the show. I'm not a fan of the height difference from the book. I like it better when they're just equals. Ilya has never acknowledged the freckles out loud at this point in the show.
He's touched them, though, at the hospital.
And if the very first time he were to mention the freckles was to call them stupid, it would not come across as fondly. So in the book, he says he can't stop thinking about a short fucking hockey player with stupid freckles. And in the show, he says, a slow fucking hockey player with beautiful freckles.
And a weak backhand.
Yeah, and so Shane is having a really difficult time holding, like, space for these emotions and, like, dealing with all of these feelings that he's having. He thinks he's holding this in. He looks like a kicked puppy. Like, he just,
I mean,
God.
I think there's also, like, this insecurity bit of it, because he also, like, very recently has had to make peace with the fact that there's never going to be a socially acceptable relationship that he can be in.
Yeah.
Like, he is gay. There's no shot at him ending up with a partner that, like, will be socially accepted and that, like, no one is going to have a problem with. And he sees that, like, Ilya could have that. So why would he want to be with me? Like, why would he be willing to throw away, like, the chance at a normal life for me?
I think you also have to think about the fact that Shane, as logistical as he can be, he kind of looks at the situation and sees it as Ilya's dating pool being twice as big as his. And thinking Ilya has more options than I do, he'll find someone else. And then, of course, Ilya feels the same way, is he'll find someone that's not so complicated. They both feel this way.
Yeah, I wonder if Shane, too, is... I wonder if that girl from the club that Ilya sucked on her ear, I wonder if that's the image in Shane's mind right now. Like, oh, yeah.
God, I wish that were me.
That earring is still somewhere in his stomach.
Somewhere in his stomach. Just like lives inside him now.
That part, like, I was like watching it and I was like, oh my God. And then he just like
just
absorbed her full hoop earring. And I was like, guys, holy shit, wait. Like, be careful. You're going to rip out her lobe.
Ilya Rozanov, you can absorb my lobe any day you want, baby.
Oh, no.
But
Mel. Oh, no.
Oh, no. But I just, like, again, this is Shane's worst nightmare unfolding on the couch at his favorite place in the world. We have mood lighting. We have toes touching. We're both having our, like, phone time. Super casual, and suddenly you've just dropped my worst nightmare on me. And then Shane says, do you want that problem to go away?
Sorry.
And we get the double ever.
Double ever.
I just got excited.
We get the double ever. Is the double ever in the book?
It is not.
You don't ever want that problem to ever go away.
Ugh, it's so good.
An extra ever for emphasis.
But I also love the fact that he answers twice. He clarifies, because he goes, first, and then he says, I don't ever want that problem to ever go away.
Yeah.
Oh my
so
God.
Tender.
It's very tender. And it's just like, I love the romance genre. Oh my God.
So good.
I love feeling like a puddle of goo. And we have these big, fat fucking tears in Shane's eyes. And he's so emotional that when he says we can figure something else out, he basically slurs it.
We can figure something else out, okay? Okay.
Don't marry Svetlana. Just don't.
When his voice broke on okay, I was like, okay.
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 Miranda, do you want to talk to us about this scene?
The thing that, like, as we were talking about, this is Shane's worst nightmare, I'm thinking about how this is the first, like, the cottage is the first time that Ilya has seen Shane since the hospital, like, been in person with him in the hospital. And so this isn't this isn't Ilya's worst nightmare. This is like, I want to figure out how we can make this work so that we can be together. It is, I think, also a test. I think it is also him being like, what do you think about this? But he is operating from a place of like, I think, let's figure this out, rather than this would be a means to an end, rather than this is his worst nightmare has already happened.
I think that one of the dynamics in their relationship is that Shane, being Una Hollander's son, is comforting to Ilya in the way that Ilya can be like, can you help me figure this out? Can you help me with the logistics?
Yeah.
I have dreams. Can you do the logistics for me? Because other than like his agent, Ilya doesn't have anyone to handle his logistics with him the way that Shane has his mom.
Ilya doesn't have, anybody.
Right. And so Ilya, one of the ways that Shane loves Ilya is to help him figure things out in a logistical way, right? He helps him plan things.
Yeah. Which provides that, is like we were talking about the boring thing earlier, it provides that stability, which I've seen people on threads say, like, when Ilya says, like, oh my God, Hollander, you're so boring, or whatever, he's saying, like,
it's a compliment.
It's a compliment. Yeah. It's not derogatory. It's not, I mean, yeah, it's like chirping, jabbing, but it's
teasing, but
it is teasing, but it's also like a subtle acknowledgement of, oh man, I kind of like this. I kind of want this.
Mm-hmm.
So when he
Because
says
nothing about his life has ever been boring.
Correct.
And he craves the freedom to be boring.
And we'll talk about this more when we get to the like Shane's freak out, which did y'all watch that recent interview with Jacob Tierney about how he talked about Hudson's emoting performance?
Mm-hmm.
I loved, we'll talk about that more. But like Ilya is also serving, he's had to serve as so many people's anchors for so long, while he's also, so he's had this juxtaposition of like, I have to be the solid grounded one for like my dad and also provide financially for my brother who's out partying and cheating on his wife all the time. And then I have to take care of the funeral. Call back to the Russian monologue. I take care of the funeral. I make sure everyone has their clothes that they like. I make sure the food is good. I make sure dad is buried in the right space in the cemetery. Like, and then he's also living this like wild and free fuckboy life. But in this moment, Shane is freaking out and Ilya is serving as emotional anchor.
I think that one thing that I am very familiar with as someone who's now been on antidepressants for almost 7 years is that when you are depressed and unmedicated, you crave the spiral because it's what's normal and natural to you. Those really big feelings that feel like they're consuming you at all times is what you're looking for. So like you're looking for drama, you're looking for gossip, you're looking for the anxiety of, I just told a rumor, is it going to come back and someone's going to find out it was me? Like, what's that? It's just that like high cortisol state of being that's normal to you. And so you look for what's normal to you. And so in these moments where like the cortisol doesn't have to be there, like we have to get Ilya used to this, right? Which is, I think, part of the reason why he's not so great with communicating and not so great with, instead of just agreeing to say what's on his mind, he says, I'll try, is because he's used to kind of there being drama in communication. That's just always how it's been for him. And so it's not that he's like intentionally or maliciously trying to make things dramatic. It's just communication's always been traumatic.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tease and chirp and make this difficult because I live in that high cortisol state of being. And for anyone who doesn't know, cortisol is the stress hormone. So, when you, Miranda, I'm sure you can tell us more about this, but when you have high cortisol levels as a child, it literally can structurally change your brain and change how your brain functions for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So when you have a child like Ilya Rozanov who only found peace with his mother and then lost his mother
in a traumatic way.
Yes.
And then didn't have those, like I was talking about, the like reparative experience post loss. His brain is forever changed.
Addled.
Yeah.
I also feel like I could see Ilya not ever really considering the future, never really thinking about it, because it just sort of seems like something that he's never going to get to have, because he feels a lot more like in the moment, you know, like he's
fly by the seat of your pants.
Yeah, because that's always what he's had to do. He's been living in survival mode, and I would imagine there's just sort of this assumption that like one day like it's just gonna stop and there will just be nothing, like there's nothing to plan for because there's no future for me. Like I'm just
That's the nature of hockey too.
Yeah, just kind of
you're fine one day and the next day you're hit into the boards and your career is over.
I think I said this last episode, but I was like, if Ilya had never met Shane, I fully pictured him playing hockey till he's 35, hurting himself, has to leave, gets addicted to substances, and dies at 40. Like that's honestly what I think his life trajectory would have been on.
Honestly,
with how much pain he was holding.
Yeah. I can see that too.
Yeah, I think I ended up cutting that from the discussion, so I will keep it this time.
How dare you?
I say so talked for 4 fucking hours.
Yeah, like I think this is the first time he's allowing himself to see a future, and he's like, I don't have this all figured out, and so for Shane to come in and like kind of see the future for him and like plan this all out like as an act of love, oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
He drives a Land Rover because it's good in the snow. It's economical. It's the logical choice. And Ilya's like, I've never had to think about that. So can you help me think about things in the way that you think about them, and then I can add my fun flair later?
Yeah.
Like what does he get? Like a Mercedes, right? A Mercedes SUV, because he still wants something nice, but he also wants something good in the snow.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And so, he's learning how to live in an environment where there's not as much stress. But it's like he has to be taught. And that is something that the Hollanders bring to him in the form of cookies and cream ice cream and chicken parmesan and blankets and Yahtzee and puzzles and Christmas and cookies,
And that's why you're my favorite son.
Exactly. Helping in the kitchen.
God.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Because Ilya sees this family and is like, ooh, what can I do to be an active part of this family? In a way that Shane, because he's been in this family his entire life, is just like comfortable to be like, oh, mom wants me to set the table or whatever. And Ilya's like, setting the table is the most amazing thing I've ever done in my life, And we'll talk more about that when we get to the Hollander's cottage. But yeah, so Shane has been up all night.
I'm like preparing myself. This next scene is my favorite scene in the whole entire show. Really? I rewatch it every night for like a dopamine hit. And I will get into why I like it, but we need to go into the scene first.
I'm so excited.
Okay. Hey, how y'all doing? It's editor Camille. Please don't kill me. I'm cutting the conversation here. We will bring you the second half of the conversation next week. I just have over 2 hours of unedited audio to go because we had a lot of conversations still to have. And then this is the halfway point in the episode. Also, we ran up against like a time constraint and we lost one of our guests. And so what we've decided to do is we're going to revisit some of the conversations throughout the week and then I'm going to throw it all together. The thing is that we're just all like super sexy and smart and really funny, and I want you guys to get to witness that. It's like the least I can do. And so to make sure that you get to enjoy all of the wonderful conversation that we had, I'm going to cut here, and you can meet us back next week here at the cottage. We'll pick up where we left off and have some more really interesting, very fun conversation. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time. The Pit Crew podcast is created and produced by us, Robert, Mal, and Camille. This episode was edited by me. You can find us on TikTok, Threads, and Instagram at Pit Crew Podcast. If you'd like to support our other projects, our socials are linked in the show notes. Our art is by Rand Pacoca. He can be found on Instagram at Rand Pacoca. All patient questions and concerns can be emailed to pitcrewpodcast@gmail.com. Now, this isn't a Taco Bell, but we do appreciate a 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to schedule a follow-up appointment with a nurse before you go. See you next time.